Fasten your seatbelts. We're about to hit 88 miles an hour. Another episode of Build the Back to the Future DeLorean is coming at you right now. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. I'm so grateful to have you with me today as we take another look at the Back to the Future DeLorean. As I mentioned last week, we are coming to an end on this build. Only 2 more build episodes after this one. Today was pretty chill, actually. We added some accessories, some pipes, some cables onto that Reactor platform. And then actually over on the Lego side, we finish the build for the Back to the Future Part 1 version of the DeLorean. So we'll take a look at that. So let's get into the build and then we will talk about it after. Okay, so in the last episode, we put in this reactor drum, this piece here, we wrapped some cables around. So we are headed into issue 117. So let me set this aside for a moment. So here's 117, and again, we're going to be focusing on that reactor platform. So in this issue, we've got a long cable and 2 short cables. So we're just going to be attaching those. And then here's our magazine. All right. And then here are the parts. Like I said, long cable, 2 short cables. So let me bring back the platform that we've been working on. All right, so the 2 short cables are exactly the same, and then we have a long cable. So the first thing we want to do is take one of the short cables, and let's see, we want to attach it to the top of this. And again, these are just pushing in, they're not asking us to glue it. And then I am going to need my tweezers probably to put this in right here, like so. So then we're going to take the other short cable and do exactly the same thing. Push that into the hole at the top there, and then bring this around. And that is going to go right in there, like so. And then now we want our long cable. So there's 2 ends. There's a silver end and a black end. We want the silver end. That's going to go into this hole here. And again, not asking us to glue. And we're not attaching this to anything at the moment. So that is it for issue 117. So let me set this aside and we'll bring over issue 118. So here's the magazine. And here we've got some more details for the platform. Let's see. Well, they don't really, we've got some reactor details. We've got a pipe left and a pipe right. So those are going to go on like so. Again, looking pretty straightforward. Although these, it looks like we are screwing in rather than just pressing. So no worries there. And there's the magazine. And then more details in the next issue. So here are the parts for issue 118. All right, so here are the parts, and they don't really give us any sort of, they just call these 2 things reactor details, and then pipe left and pipe right. The first thing, let's bring back our platform that we've been working on. Put these over here, put those over here. So first thing we're doing is we're going to place this detail, and there is a little locator, and that's going to go right in front of the drum, just like so. And that's going to be attached with an AP screw from the other side here, from the underneath. Boom. That is in. So these are directional. So this is pipe left, so we want this one first. And it is going right next to there. So here, and then there is another hole right here that we'll be screwing those into with E. Well, just kidding. So this end is going to be put in with an F, as in Frank, FP screw, and this one an EP screw. So let's do the FP first. All right, that is in, and then the other one goes in with an EP screw. All right, that is in. Okay, so a little annoying. We're putting these pipes in, and it's going to cover up these cables that we struggled to get in the last episode. All right, and then, let me see, before I put that on, let me make sure, yes. So we're just doing the same thing on this side. Perfect, so those are in. And then the last piece that we have is this piece here, which is going right in front of, and there are two locators and then a screw hole here. So that's going to go right there, like so. And that's going to be attached on the underside with an AP screw. All right. So that is attached. And that is all there is to do in issue 118. So we'll put this aside and we'll bring over the magazine for 119. So here we go. So again, we have more parts here. This is an exhaust pipe, or exhaust pipes for the reactor, and then some brackets. So it looks like we'll be building 2 pipes and then some brackets. Yep, there we go. Be attaching those, attaching the exhaust pipes. Here's the magazine. And then more pipes in the next issue. All right, so here are the parts for issue 119. All right, so they're just calling these reactor pipe halves. And then we have reactor pipe grills. And then brackets. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to take, obviously, 2 of our halves and join them together. And those are going to go together with AP screws. Those will turn, make sure they're tight. Okay, and then on, so that's interesting. So then on this end that doesn't have an opening, we're going to put these grills. So they're going to sit right on here, and we're going to bend the ends over like so. And those are going on with some IP screws. All right, so there is one. And then we're just repeating this same step here for the other one. And there's the other side. And then again, we're just going to take this little grill piece. All right, so there are those parts. Now we're going to bring over our platform. And we have our brackets here. So these have 2 screw holes and a little locator, so they can only go on one way. So they're going to go on just like so. And they're going to be secured from the other side with GP screws. All right, so that is on. Okay. So now we're going to take the parts that we just made, these little exhaust pipes, and again, there's a locator here and here. So those are going to go on just like so. And they're going to be secured also with GP screws. Okay, so there we go. And that is it for issue 119. It's issue 120. And let's see, we have vent pipes. So got those there. And again, we're just going to be attaching them. It looks like these are just push-ins, so that's cool. And then here's the magazine, and then, ooh, we get a big vent cowl in the next issue. All right, so here is issue 120. So it looks like we kind of got 3 groups here. Yeah, things are labeled one way in the manual and a different way. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. So they've identified these parts as 120C through 120F. However, you can see here, so 120C, D, E, A, B, F. I mean, okay. So they've got a letter after it, but then here they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a little confusing because the parts are stamped with the letters. So, so what they're saying is vent pipe 1 is 120C, and there is a C stamped on this vent pipe. So I'm going to put these out as they have them. So there is C, here is F. So now let's bring over our platform. So the first one we want is C. So that is this one here. And there is a keyhole pattern, so they can only go in one way. So this one is going in this hole here. And again, they're not asking us to glue. These should just pop in. Okay, so there is C. Now we want D, which is the one under it. And it's going to go into the hole right next to it. And again, there is a keyhole pattern, so it can only go in one way. And again, they're not asking us to glue. And then we want E, which is this one, and that's going in the top right up here. Okay, so that is those 3. And now we just basically want to do the same thing on the other side. So, okay, so that is it for issue 120. So that's the end of the part work for this episode. So let's move on to the Lego side. All right, here we are on the Lego step. So the last episode, we completed the hood, and then we did these vent cowls and the license plate. So today, it looks like we're going to be putting on some finishing touches, and I believe this is going to end, this episode will end our Lego build, because we're not going on to do the Back to the Future Part 2 or Part 3. The steps in this episode will complete the original movie Back to the Future car. So let's get on with the Lego build. Okay, so that pretty much completes the Lego DeLorean as the version from the original first Back to the Future movie. And like I said, we do have additional parts that are left over that can be used to create the Back to the Future Part 2 or the Back to the Future Part 3 version. So that is it for this episode. Okay, so let's recap what we did in this episode. So on the Lego side, we pretty much finished the DeLorean. We added the hook here, and then we also added the reactor and some tubing. And then on the Partwork side, we have again been working on this reactor platform. We installed some cables and things here, these exhaust pipes, these pipes, some cabling. So that's where we are for this episode. Like I said, pretty easy over on the Partwork side. We just added some accessories and details to the Reactor platform as we continue working on that. And then how exciting, over on the Lego side, we finished the Back to the Future Part 1 version of the DeLorean with the hook that hits the cable. They stretch across the street from the clock tower. So super exciting there. In the following 2 episodes, we will take a look on the Lego side. We'll take a look at the Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 versions. On the Partwork side, we're just sticking with version number 1. We do have Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future Part 2, which we'll take a look at, but I'm not going to be installing it on the car. And as I explained in those future episodes, for the Back to the Future Part 3 version, the railroad modification, that was an add-on to the subscription for the scale model version, and I opted not to do that, so we will not be taking a look at that for the scale model version. So let's get into our summary. For the scale model, we completed 29 steps and used 21 parts. For the Lego side, we completed 26 steps and used 42 parts, which brings our total to date of 1,288 steps and 839 parts for the scale model, and 761 steps and 1,728 parts for the Lego version. All right, so again, stay tuned next week where we'll continue on building on the scale model version, and we'll take a look at the Back to the Future Part 2 version for the Lego DeLorean. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you get notified of upcoming videos. We've got some exciting new builds coming up in the next few weeks, so you won't want to miss those. And until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.